Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So here is our video from me, Widya Maharani, and my friend Rizky Shafira. So in this video, we are going to talk about the strategies how to face the question from TOEFL ITP listening or test of English as a foreign language institutional testing program. So in this video, we are going to talk about from the skill 1 until skill 22. So without any further ado, let's discuss one by one. For the first is skill 1. It is about focus on the last line. So search on the screen. I want to give you an example first. Man, can you tell me if today's matinee is a comedy, romance or western? Woman, I have no idea. Narrator, what does the woman mean? We have to pay attention on the last line. The last line is the sentence that women are saying. On your textbook, you will find A. She has strong idea about movies. B. She prefers comedies over westerns and romances. C. She doesn't like today's matinee. D. She does know. Women say that I have no idea. It means that she doesn't know anything about the today's matinee. So the appropriate answer for this question is D. She doesn't know. The next is skill 2. Choose answer with synonym. I want to give you an example first. Man, was the concert well received? Woman, the audience applauded for a long time after the performance. Narrator, what does the woman mean? Remember that in this skill you have to choose the answer with synonym. We have to pay attention first on applauded. So what the synonym from applauded? On your textbook, you will find A. The performance went for a long time. B. There was applause through the performance. C. The people clapped on and after the concert. D. The audience waited for a long time for the concert to begin. The word that we have to pay attention is applauded. So we have to find the synonym from the applauded. We can find in these choices the synonym from applauded is it can be applause and it can be clapped. But we have to pay attention in another words. The woman said that the audience applauded for a long time after the performance. So it doesn't mean that the applause just through the performance, but it on and after the concert. So the correct answer is C. The people clapped on and after the concert. For the skill 3. On this skill, we have to avoid similar sound. For example, man, why couldn't Mark come with us? Woman, he was searching for a new apartment. Narrator, what does the woman say about Mark? So remember, we have to avoid a similar sound. A. He was in the apartment office. In this sentence, we will find a similar sound apartment with apartment that like the woman said before. So it means that this is not the correct answer. How about on B? He was looking for a place to live. In these sentences, we don't hear a similar sound here, so it means that the B is the correct answer from this question, because C, we will find research, it's the similar sound like searching, and D, at crack, he had an appointment at crack, so the appointment is similar sound with apartment, so this is not the correct answer. So the correct answer is B. He was looking for a place to live. And for the skill 4, draw conclusion. Who, what, and where. So in this question, you have to pay attention first from on your textbook. If you, on your textbook that show the choices is about place like a beach, beach or restaurant, school, like the name of place, of course the question will be about where. But if you found the choices it's about name or maybe noun, of course it will be the question it will be who. For this example, you find at the beauty salon, at the beach, at an outdoor restaurant, and in a sandbox. Of course the question will be about where. So you already draw conclusion that the question will be show us about where. So for example, on the recording you will hear, "Man, are you going into the water or are you just going to lie there on the sand?" "Woman, I think I need to put on some suntan lotion." Narrator: where does the conversation probably take place? If we are if we are pay attention on the man said and woman said, they said water, sand, and then suntan lotion. So we can conclude that the conversation probably take place at the beach. So the correct answer is at the beach. The next, skill 5. So in this skill, if you find a passive sentence, you have to choose an active sentence. And if you found an active sentence, so you have to choose a passive sentence. Like for example on the screen, "Man, have you been taking good care of the lawn?" "Woman, I watered it only this morning." Narrator: what does the woman mean? The woman said, "I watered it only this morning." It means that this is a kind of active sentence. So we have to find, we have to choose a passive sentence. A. She drank some water on the lawn this morning. Of course this is a passive sentence, so we don't have to choose this. B. She waited for him on the lawn this morning. This is also an active sentence. C. The lawn has already been watered today. C is a passive sentence. So in here we have to choose C because C is a passive sentence. How about B? B is also an active sentence. So in this question, the correct answer is C. The lawn has already been watered today. And the next is skill 6. Who and what with more than one noun or subject. For example, "Man, why is Paul going back home this summer?" Woman, he is returning to Vermont for his sister's wedding. Narrator: what does the woman mean? We have to pay attention on what the woman are saying. The woman said before. He is returning to Vermont for his sister's wedding. In here we found two noun or subject here. Noun, two noun here, he and his sisters. So in this kind of question, we have to pay attention on the first person. So on your textbook, you will find A. Paul is getting married this summer. B. Paul's sister is returning from Vermont to get married. C. Paul will be there when sister gets married this summer. D. Paul's sister is coming to his wedding in Vermont. On the woman sentence, it means that have a wedding is the Paul's sister, not Paul. But if you take a look from the A choice, Paul is getting married. Of course, this is not the correct answer because the getting married is the Paul's sisters. B. Paul's sister is returning from Vermont to get married. Of course, this is not the correct answer because that the returning from Vermont is Paul. C. Paul will be there when sister gets married this summer. This can be a correct answer because this sentence is show us this is appropriate with the sentence from the woman. So the correct answer is C. Paul will be there when sister gets married this summer. Skill 7 is negative statement. So if we found the sentence, negative statement from the speaker, so we have to choose the antonym sentence. Like for example, men, how did they get to their grandmother's house in only 5 hours? Woman, they didn't drive slowly on the trip many. Narrator, what does the woman mean? We have to pay attention on the negative statements. The negative statement in here is didn't drive slowly. So we have to pay attention on that sentence. Didn't drive slowly, it means quickly. Such from the choices A, they drove rather quickly. B, they couldn't have driven more slowly. C, they wanted to travel slowly to Maine. D, they didn't drive to Maine. So we have already paid attention that didn't drive slowly. Of course, it means that didn't drive slowly is quickly. So the appropriate answer for this question is A. They drove rather quickly. Here is another example. For example, Rara is not happy. So the correct answer, not happy, is same with sad. And then she never work hard. So the correct answer is lazy because never work hard, it is also means that she is lazy. And last, the patient was insane. Insane is not insane, and not insane it also means crazy. And the next for skill 8, double negative. So if you found a double negative here, you have to choose the antonym from the double negative, like men. For example, men. I can't believe the news that I heard about the concert. Woman, well, it isn't impossible for the concert to take place. Narrator, what does the woman say about the concert? The double negative here is isn't impossible. So on your textbook you will find there is no possibility that the concert will happen. B, the concert will definitely not happen. C, the concert might happen. D, the concert cannot happen. We have already paid attention on isn't impossible. So it means that the concert will possible happen. So the appropriate answer is C, the concert might happen. Another example. She didn't like the unclean office. So didn't like the the unclean office is, it means that she like clean office. Another Sue didn't like the movie, and neither did Mark. So it means that both didn't like movie. And the last, it isn't snowing, so they aren't going to the mountains. So the correct answer is they would go if it were snowing. For the skill 9, common almost negative expression. For example, man, were you able to pay the electric bill? Woman, I had barely enough money. Narrator, what does the woman imply? So, barely, it means that she really don't have money. So in your textbook you will find A, she had plenty of money for the bill. B, she didn't have enough money for the bill. C, he paid the bill but has no money left. D, he was unable to pay the bill. In this kind of question, we have to pay attention on word barely. Barely means that she really don't have money. So the appropriate answer is C. He paid the bill but has no money left. So the correct answer is C. Another example, almost none. The expression like hardly, barely, scarcely, only. So the example, there is hardly any food in the refrigerator. It means that there are no food on refrigerator. Almost never. Expression rarely, seldom. He rarely drives to work. It means that he never drives to work. And the next is skill 10, negatives with comparative. For example, you will hear men. What do you think of the new student in math class? Woman, no one is more intelligent than she is. Narrator, what does the woman say about the new student? The sentence that shows the negative comparative is no one is more intelligent. So it means that she is the more intelligent than anyone on that class. So on your textbook you will find A, she is not very smart. B, he is smarter than she is. C, other students are smarter than she is. D, she is the smartest student in the class. So the comparative sentence is no one is more intelligent. It means that the new student is really smart. If we take a look from the choices, we have to choose the comparative statement that more intelligent will change into smartest. So the correct answer is D. She is the smartest student in the class. For example, like on the table, comparative is like more and For example, no one is more handsome than he is. It means that he is the most handsome. And another, he couldn't be happier. It means that he's extremely happy. And the last is skill 11. It is about expression of agreement. So, for example, men, I don't think that our history teacher is very interesting. Woman, neither do I. Narrator, what does the woman mean? So we have paid attention on the sentence neither do I. On your textbook you will find A. She disagrees with the man. B. She thinks the history teacher is interesting. C. She shares the man's opinion. D. She doesn't think that the man's idea is good. On the woman that already said neither do I. Under the man's statement, it is also in negative statement. So the woman applied in a negative statement, negative agreement. Neither do I. It means that the woman is agree with the man's statement. So in this question, the appropriate answer is C. She shares the man's opinion. It means that the woman agree with the man's statement. Here is the example of agreement with positive statement, like so do I, me too, I'll say, isn't it? You can say that again. If the second speaker said all of this, one of this positive statement, so it means that they agree with the statement if the statement is in a positive statement too. And another is about agreement with negative statement. Neither do I don't either, I didn't either, I haven't either. So if you find a negative statement and then the second speaker answer with the negative agreement, so it means that the second speaker is agree what the statement that have been told before from the first speaker. So that's all my explanation. So in the next skills from skills 12 until 22 will be explained by Rizky Shafira. So Rizky Shafira, time is yours.
Okay, I'm Rizky Shafira and now I will explain about skill 12 until skill 22. Skill 12. Expression of uncertainty and a suggestion. First of all, we are going to be covering uncertainty. Uncertainty means when somebody is not sure about something. Some expressions that you need to know in order to understand uncertainty are, isn't it? As far as I know, as far as I can tell. Those three expressions in order to express that the speaker is not sure about something. Then the expression of suggestion. The expression is why not or let's. Okay, let's see the conversation. This is the example of suggestion. Remember, for suggestion, we are going to listen why not or let's. Okay? On the recording you hear, I will never have time to type my paper tomorrow. Why not do it now? What does the woman suggest? A. Finishing the paper today. B. Not working on the paper now. C. Never typing the paper. D. Taking time out from the paper now. So the answer for the question is A. Finishing the paper today. Why? That's because the woman said, why not do it now? It means that the woman suggesting doing the paper right now. Okay, move to the example of uncertainty conversation. On the recording you hear, do you know anything about the final exam in physics? It's going to be rather difficult, isn't it? What does the woman mean? A. The exam is not going to be difficult. B. She is positive that it's going to be hard. C. She thinks that it might be hard. D. She has no idea about the exams. From the example, we know that the woman answered, "It's going to be rather difficult, isn't it?" Word "isn't it" is shows the expression of uncertainty. It means that the woman not sure about the question tag. So we have to choose the answer is C. She thinks that it might be hard. So every single time that you hear expression like "as far as I know," "as far as I can tell," or "isn't it," it means that the speaker is not really sure about the information. Okay, next to the skill 13. Skill 13, expression of emphatic surprise. What is that an expression of surprise? It is when you believe somebody did something and at the end was not true. Or maybe when you expect somebody to do something and maybe the person did something that was completely different. Or maybe you were sure that the person was going to do it. And if we heard then blah blah blah. So the answer is the implied meaning from the information. Let's see the example. On the recording you hear, "Did you see Paul driving around in his Mustang? Then he did get a new car. What had the man bought?" A. Paul would definitely get the Mustang. B. Paul did not know how to drive. C. Paul did not like the Mustangs. And D. Paul would not get a new car. The man said, "Then he did get a new car." What is the man had bought about Paul? So we need to pay attention to this expression of surprise in order to determine what had the man thought before. So the answer for this question is D. Paul would not get a new car. Move to the skill 14. Skill 14 is listen for voices. The important idea to remember about voices is that a voice implies that the opposite of the voice is the truth. We need to remember for skill 14 and 15, the keyword is contrary meaning. So we need to choose the implied meaning from the speakers. This is the key information about voices. An affirmative voice implies a negative reality. A negative voice implies an affirmative reality. A past tense verb implies a present reality. And a past perfect tense verb implies a past reality. For the affirmative, the example is, "I wish I had time to help." The meaning is no time, no help. For the negative voice implies an affirmative reality. The example is, "I wish I did not have time to help." The meaning is, she has time to help. A past tense verb implies a present reality. The example is, "I wish he were at home." The meaning is, he is not at home. A past perfect tense verb implies a past reality. The example is, "I wish he had been at home." It means he was not at home. For the past tense verb, if you hear the speaker say it in the past tense, "I wish were," so we need to choose the answer that using is. For the past perfect tense, if the speaker said had been, so we need to choose the answer using was. Next, skill 15. Skill 15. Listen for untrue conditions. Untrue condition is when we imagine what would happen if we are doing the activities. This is the key information about untrue conditions. An affirmative wish implies a negative reality. The example is, if she were at home, she could do it. It means he is not at home. A negative wish implies an affirmative reality. Example is, if she weren't at home, she could do it. It means he is at home. A past tense verb implies a present reality. The example is, if I had money, I would buy it. It means I do not have money. A past perfect tense verb implies a past reality. The example is, if I had money, I would have bought it. It means I did not have money. This is the example of conversation for untrue conditions. In the recording you hear, do you think that you will be able to go to the party? If I had time, I would go. What does a woman say about the party? A. Maybe she will go. B. She has time, so she will go. C. She is going even if she doesn't have time. D. It is impossible to go. Okay, if we notice that a woman have untrue condition, if I had time, I would go. It means that the woman doesn't have time, so she would not go to the party. So the correct answer is D. It's impossible to go. Next to the skill 16. Skill 16 is phrasal verbs. Phrasal verb consists of more than one verb. Expressions that include a verb and one or more particle, in, on, at, of, up, etc. Those particles can change the meaning of the verb. This is the example of phrasal verb. Call means menghubungi, but if we add the particle of, so the call of means membatalkan. And then cut, it's memotong, and cut off memutuskan, cut it out menghentikan. Okay, let's see the example of conversation. On the recording you hear, what time does the meeting start? Didn't you hear that it was called off by the director? What does the woman say about the meeting? A. The director called a meeting. B. The director phoned her about the meeting. C. The director called the meeting to order. D. The director canceled the meeting. Okay, there is a phrasal verb called off. The meaning of phrasal verb called off is cancel. So we need to choose the answers that show the synonym of phrasal verb. So the answer is D. The director canceled the meeting. Next, skill 17. Skill 17, idioms. Idioms is the expression and informal way of saying things. Remember that idioms do not have literal meanings. They have an idiomatic meaning, so we cannot translate literally what an idiom. This is the example of idioms. Break a leg, it means good luck. Better late than never. It means better to arrive late than not. Beat around the bush. It means avoid what you mean. Okay, let's see the example of conversation. On the recording you hear, Tom is a full-time student and he is holding down a full-time job. He is really burning the candle at both ends. What does the woman say about Tom? A. He is lighting a candle. B. He is holding the candle at the top and the bottom. C. He is doing too much. D. He is working as a firefighter. If we didn't know about the idioms, we can try to understand about the content. And remember, sometimes the answer is not related to any word in the idioms. So for the question, the best answer is C. He is doing too much. Why? Because in option A, B, and D, there is a same word with the idioms. Okay, we move to the long conversation. On the long conversation, in the skill 18 until 22, divide into two groups. For the skill 18 and 19, we can use the strategies before you listen to conversation. And for skill 20 until 22, we can use the strategies while listening conversation. Okay, this is the skill 18. Anticipate the topic. Anticipate the topic help you for overall understanding. Look briefly at the answer in the textbook before you actually hear the conversation on the recording. Try to determine the conversation that you will hear. Skill 19. Anticipate the question. Anticipate the question help you get the specific information from the conversation efficiently. Example, in your textbook you read A in the airport, B in the library, C in the dormitory, D in the travel agent's office. We can try to anticipate the question, where does the conversation probably take place? Because from the option A until D is about the place, so we can anticipate the question where the conversation take place. Next, skill 20. Determine the topic. The example, on the recording you hear, listen to conversation between two students. You cannot believe what I just got. I bet you got the new car you have always wanted. Now, how in the world did you figure out? You think the topic of conversation is the new car that the man just got. Next, skill 21. Draw conclusion about who, what, when, and where. Think about the following thoughts. Who is talking? When does the conversation probably take place? Where does the conversation probably take place? And what is the source of information for the conversation? Skill 22. Listen for answer in order. There are two methods to listen for the answer in order. The first method is can just listen to the conversation and ignore the answer. And the second method is you can follow along with the answer while you listen. Okay, that's all for our presentation. Thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.